What's up, guys? Gonna get quickly into this week's Q&A. My back always rounds on high effort deadlift sets like RPE 8 or more. What is a good accessory to address this? My low back muscular is always sore after deadlift day. Back rounding isn't necessarily bad. I'm actually going to plug my own video here, but I just did a pretty lengthy conversation with Sam Sheether, and he very much pulls with a rounded back intentionally, and I would suggest watching that video. Um, it's the latest one I did with Sam. It's titled like 400 kilogram deadlifter Sam Sheether, or something of that nature. And I would I would listen to what he has to say, and work on your core strength, and that's something he preaches as well. As someone with big legs, have you ever felt your thighs getting in the way of your balls, maybe even robbing them of space? There's times, yes, that there's a lot of adjusting that has to go on. Do I have any paranormal anecdotes? Um, no, not really. I really don't. I've had some dreams sometimes that are kind of wild, but as far as like any actual like spirits, ghosts, whatever, in real life, I've not experienced any of that. How do you program plyos and their progression overload? La 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 la. Okay, so I am no expert in this field. All right, this is not something for me to answer directly. I personally I like having jumps before squats or deadlifts, or sometimes I'll do if I'm doing like a moderate squat, I'll do the squat first, then the jumps, then the deadlifts. Um, but as far as like progressing them and stuff, I'm not the one. I'm really not. Uh, I would on Instagram like THP Strength. It's Isaiah Rivera's coach. Is absolutely amazing. Isaiah Rivera has the highest vertical jump in history. Uh, but THP Strength, that's a great place. Isaiah Rivera himself, great place to look. Chris Speed, on Instagram as well. He doesn't upload on YouTube as much anymore. He's a weightlifter, but he uses plyos in his weightlifting training frequently, and he really knows his shit there. And then Dane Miller, Garage Strength on Instagram. I think he's Garage Strength on YouTube as well. He's taken like Olympic throwers, or throwers to the Olympics and things, and programs plyometrics and Olympic weightlifting and things of that nature. Those are where I would look to. I have no business telling anybody how to program plyometrics. One beef I have with the science-based fitness community is their back tier lists are ridiculously dumb. They consistently rank pullovers and chest support rows as S tier and deadlifts as D tier. But the remaining part of my hairline that if lifter A trained only deadlifts for a year and lifter B only pullovers, chest supported rows for a year, lifter A would have more back muscle. Do I agree? Yeah, I think I do agree there. Just you're just doing more work total. I think a lot of times they get caught up in stability seems to be something they mention a lot, and then like isolating individual muscles, and this one activates this muscle more than this. But you look at big motherfucking dudes, and more often than not, they can bench press or overhead press a lot of weight. They can squat or some sort of squat variation a lot of weight, and they can use a lot of weight on their hinge patterns. Now, what rep ranges they're training in into failure and what isolations they use can all tend to be different. But even if they're not training like with the sole purpose of strength in mind, they're training to get bigger muscles, and strength is a byproduct of them training to get bigger muscles. Um, they're going to get strong, and the big dudes are usually the strong dudes, and vice versa. The strong dudes are usually the big dudes. So yes, I would imagine the deadlifter only guy also being more jacked at the end of that year than the science based dude doing pullovers. I prefer pull ups over rowing variations. If I was only doing pull ups and no rows, do you think I'm missing out on much hypertrophy of the upper back in general? Note I'm doing deadlifts alongside them. It's not going to be profound. I think rowing variations have their place in there. And if you're neglecting them altogether, which is something I've done, and my back is still pretty fucking jacked, I do some rows now with the barbell. I've done smaller variations. I've been the science-based guy here, and I've done like seated cable rows and stuff like that throughout the years, just because I didn't want the lower back fatigue that comes with barbell rows impeding my progress on squats and deadlifts. So I think you're fine doing what you're doing. I think it probably would be a little bit better if you did some rowing variations, though. But it's not like some be all end all thing that you're missing out on this profound amount of development without them. LooksMaxing routine. I don't do LooksMaxing. What I will say, and forgive me if I'm wrong, whatever your preferences are your preferences. But generally speaking, this is usually asked from men in order to be attractive to women. Stay groomed, stay well groomed, hygiene, be clean, smell good, be presentable, wear clothes that accentuate, whatever good physical features you do have. And as far as just like outward physical attraction, that's about it. Obviously, you want to be in as good a shape as possible. That's also not the be all end all. Trust me. The fat dude that can make a girl laugh and is confident in himself is going to pull more bitches, excuse my phrase, than the jacked incel who's scared to talk and think the world owes him everything. Otherwise, I use this all natural shea butter. It is just shea butter. Like there's no other ingredients. I don't know if you can see there the ingredients, if it'll zoom in or not blurry. Well, it's going to stay blurry, but up here's just the story. Right there, that one line above my finger is the ingredients, and it's just the scientific name for shea butter. I use that a few times a week when I get out of the shower, taking care of my skin. That's the only beauty product I use. But yeah, just like have good hygiene, be presentable and well groomed, and smell good. That's gonna take you farther than any quote unquote LooksMaxing routine is going to. Why did I stay natty? Was I ever tempted to go the enhanced route? No, I really never considered going enhanced. I had people offer me like to sponsor cycles for me, like whole testosterone cycles and everything, just because they were curious of what I could do on gear. But just the added variables, the added health risks, and I've heard from enough people how once you go on, you'll never come back off. There are a few cases, like we've seen Pete Rubish now come back off, but it's a lifetime commitment for most, and I don't have that desire. Like I wanted to be as big and strong as I possibly could, and I did most of the things to do that in a pretty short amount of time. To be honest, like if I could go back and do it again, I would definitely. I don't regret anything in my life, so I wouldn't like do it all different again. But if I were to do it all again and to try to optimize and correct my mistakes within lifting from last time, I would have taken it more slower anyway. But I still know that I've never really been tempted by that, just due to like I said, the added variables of what it brings, the health risks, the added health risks that it brings, and it being a lifetime commitment. Should I be feeling my chest muscles on an OHP? Yeah, your chest is involved in OHP. I mean, you can press as vertically as you want to. You're still going to have some pec involvement. Oh no, I lost where I was. What would be the OHP behind the neck press version of a deep dumbbell bench for bench press? Comp bench plus hypertrophy focus variation works great for me, and I plan to do a similar program with the 2 vertical presses. So sit on a very high incline and do deep dumbbell vertical presses. Like, I know that's the obvious fucking answer, and you're probably doing this right now. But if that's what works for you on bench press, laying horizontal bench pressing and then deep dumbbell bench presses, when you're doing the vertical stuff, hold the dumbbells and go deep vertically with the dumbbells. You don't even have to change a thing, my man. Peace!